It was an incredibly inconvenient and dangerous act of sabotage that tested emergency workers throughout the South Bay. And tonight, officials are crafting a plan if it should ever happen again. KTVU's Janine De La Vega is live for us tonight in San Jose, where they are still trying to find the person responsible. Janine?
Heather, that's right. And Santa Clara County officials say they're prepared to handle earthquakes, fires, and pandemic flu outbreaks, but they weren't prepared to handle last week's massive phone outage. They want to come up with ways to improve communication during emergencies. Board of Supervisors President Liz Niss always carries a satellite phone with her. The setup is a bit tedious, but she and other high-level executives have them in case of emergency when they cannot get through on a landline or cell phone.
Hi, Elizabeth. This is Liz calling.
Niss knows not everyone has access to backup communication. She says she was shocked by last week's phone outage and wants to learn how the county can be better prepared.
It has been a wake-up call for us to say, exactly now, how do we deal with this when indeed we can find that our communication is simply terminated by somebody clipping wires.
Police say fiber optic cables underground were deliberately cut in 4 locations in San Jose and San Carlos. Thousands of people were without phone service, cell, fax, and internet in the southern part of the county.
So 911 was not effective?
911 was not working.
The Disaster Council met this afternoon to discuss what lessons were learned and what could be improved. The Sheriff's Department tripled the number of officers patrolling that area of the county. Law enforcement says they learned their biggest asset that day was the use of volunteers from their search and rescue team.
They got out there and manned 6 fixed posts so they could be visible for people who wanted to contact them if they had an emergency to report.
I think it's a reminder to the general community that if they don't have their battery-operated radio, they really need to take care of that.
The county says they would also like to explore their partnerships with nonprofit agencies to see how they can also help during an emergency. Coming up at 6, we'll have an update on the police investigation and if they're any closer to finding whoever is responsible for cutting those fiber optic lines that took out the phone service. Reporting live in San Jose, Janine De La Vega, KTVU, Channel 2 News.
Santa Clara County officials met today to come up with a plan on how to avert a massive communications shutdown such as what happened last week. That's when someone sabotaged a fiber optic network, and as a result, thousands of homes and businesses were affected. KTVU's Janine De La Vega joins us now. She's in San Jose with details on today's meeting and the criminal investigation. Janine.
Julie, county officials met this afternoon to discuss how they handled last week's massive phone outage. While police investigate who is responsible, the county wants to know how it can be better prepared.
And so 911 was not effective?
911 was not working.
That was one of the most worrisome outcomes from the phone outage. Last Thursday, thousands of people in southern Santa Clara County were cut off with no home phone, cell, internet, or fax service. Law enforcement could communicate by radio, but residents had no choice but to drive to a police or fire station or flag down help.
I think we were caught off guard. Yes, in a way, we definitely were.
This afternoon, officials from the Sheriff's Department, the Office of Emergency Services, and other county departments met to discuss the lessons learned. While there were no reports of emergencies, administrators want to explore what other resources could be used in the future.
I think we have a hole in our plan for dealing with emergencies, and we need to deal with that hole.
Police say they remain optimistic they will catch whoever was responsible for deliberately clipping the fiber optic lines that took out phone service.
They started talking to a few people. They're going to continue talking to folks probably throughout the whole week and following leads and tips.
Police say over the weekend they received around 18 tips. They spent the day deciphering which ones were valid and following up. The reward for this case still stands at $250,000. Reporting live in San Jose, Janine De La Vega, KTVU, Channel 2 News.
The popular online communication site Twitter is becoming increasingly popular with hackers. The blogger website fell prey this weekend to a computer worm that struck 4 times, each time with increasing aggression. The worm redirected